Concert Queen Connect. I'm so excited to not only start this up again, but I'm bringing back probably one of my favorite guests, one of the most talked about guests for sure. People still stop me and talk to me about them in this particular show. So of course I had to bring them back, and they've changed. I'm sitting in front we've been talking for the last 20 minutes, and I'm sitting in front of I feel like you guys have seen things.
We got all the good
Welcome. Oh, me and Adam.
Yeah, hi, what's
Sorry,
up?
I'm Rusty.
Hi, I'm Adam. How's it going?
Welcome.
Vince.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we did have a good 20-minute warm-up. Now I'm ready. I feel like we're hitting the ground running now.
But you put a little...
Yes, I'm sponsored by Zine, so I have 14 Zine packets in my mouth right
Is it
now.
Zine or Zen?
Do we know?
Oh, it's Zen. Zen, sorry to Zen. I mispronounced.
Is that something you frequently do?
It's my first job on the sponsor.
He's never
first
done
day
it
on the
before in his
sponsorship.
life. There's a chance that he will vomit right here on this show right now.
Typically,
This is going off.
I would
This
smoke
is
like a
starting off.
Juul or something typically, and I just left it at home because I
Were
was
you a cigarette smoker before, and now you
certainly,
switched to the
certainly,
yeah.
yeah. I was so excited to be here that I left my Juul at home, and one of your very nice cameramen offered me a Zen, so we're trying that out. I will say my lips are burning right now, and I'm feeling a little woozy.
I'm parched.
Let's go.
Well, okay.
I'm
So
in.
last time you were here, I feel like it was just mass chaos, but it was organized chaos. And now, like I said, just talking to you guys for the last 20 minutes, you're more calm. You're more like you told me you've had this journey. So
Blackout
tell
drunk
me.
before we came here last
We
time.
did.
Just as like a precursor to whatever's about to happen now. But last time, I do not recall. I think Adam feels similarly.
Did you have was there a question?
There's no question.
I'm just reminding
It
everybody.
was just
It's like,
I was just
let's
reminding
remind
you
you
from
guys
where
were
we've come
terrible
from.
the last time.
No,
you
you were
came
great,
here.
but I'm wondering. You said you wanted there's different things that musically you've done, professionally, personally, and your last album and everything you were saying was about kind of just exploring sounds, exploring music, exploring your different influences, and now I feel like you guys are just like snipers and you did everything with intent. So what's the biggest difference professionally and personally from back when we did our first episode to now?
I'll answer a little and then I'll let Adam talk a little bit. Yeah, I think intent's definitely what we were striving for with the new album. Basically, we felt like last time when we were working on some of the songs, they were sort of like caveats or almost like loose explorations of certain ideas. Like Adam said, let's explore making sort of like a sadder acoustic song, or let's try something that's really heavy and electronic. And this time we just sort of wanted to incorporate some of that eclecticism into our sound, but then also sort of have an overarching sound that we were presenting that feels cohesive and feels well thought out, and the songs draw together well.
That's a really good answer.
He's a smart guy.
Oh yeah.
I usually let him take the serious questions.
But you said, so overarching theme, what would you say the theme is now versus before then?
I think before, as we were developing the sound, we were also going through a lot of personal growth, because we were living in New Orleans when the record started, and then we were living in New York, and then we moved back, and that was all of those things were happening as we were writing the first album. This whole thing, we've been here, and we've been making music full time and figuring out who we are, and so the themes of the album maybe are more focused inward, just because there's maybe less crazy stimulation affecting our lives and more time to think about who we are.
Yeah, we started this album, so basically during COVID, and so that was the last time we saw you, was right around when COVID started, and then we put out our first album. That was definitely a collection of stuff that we had done throughout our whole journey to get back to Austin, and then this new album is sort of what happened since then, where we landed after dropping that album, and then continuing to work during COVID, and then and really there's a bit less flagrant rebellion and stuff like that. I feel on the first album there's a lot of F you and F your crew, and there's a lot of that theme that's very elevated on the first album, and the newer album there's still some stuff like that, but it's much more of like Adam said, like a self-reflection and sort of like an analysis of like where you sit in your relationships and where you sit in your relationship with the world, and yeah, that's sort of like the vibe to it.
So just a mature
Yeah, I
second
guess.
album.
I mean, it sounds like boring, but it's still like, it's still awesome.
I don't think that I'm any more mature. I just think I've tried to like look at some of the ways that I was in the past.
I mean, you completely did a makeover since last time, and you dyed your hair, so I feel like that's a big...
Oh, like crippling insecurity is still constant.
Okay.
That remains a core tenet.
Got it. But you guys have had some crazy shows as well. I want to talk about that.
Totally.
You guys opened for the Killers, the Casual. It's a huge show. Tell us about that.
Well, we went and saw Blink-182 at the Moody Center on Friday, and someone was like, "Have you ever been here before?" And I was like, "Actually, last time I was here was on stage."
Yeah.
That did actually
You
happen.
can hit me now if you want. But yeah, it was really cool. They're really nice guys. They had us do Austin, and we did Dallas with them, and then I guess we were okay because they had us come to Vegas for their New Year's Eve party, which was really fun too.
Yeah. So what was that feeling? Is that something you're like, okay, we definitely want to keep...
Well, you definitely
striving
know.
for that?
You definitely know that like no one there wants to hear you play music. There's actually,
Yeah, so when we played at the Austin show, we were like, all right, this will be like the best one. For us, like as performance wise and like just vibe wise, it was probably the worst one because we were like nervous and we were hometown, and like it was like we had just got off doing a bunch of other stuff, and like we got the band together, like, all right, now we're gonna go play the Moody Center, like, and everybody was like, what? That seems like a crazy goal, and we're like, no, it's not a goal, it's happening tomorrow, so we have practice today. And we get there, and this one guy's just in the crowd to my right is just like, F you, like screaming, but not saying F you, like he's saying the full version of that, and not just once, like the entire show, not just like one time, and not even like ceaselessly saying F you the whole time. I mean, fuck you, like just like fuck you,
like looking right at Vince.
yeah. And I was like, this next song's for you, and but like that's normal for like, I feel like there's like, if you're gonna try and make waves and make people remember you, you're gonna piss somebody
Yeah, I mean,
off.
how often do you go and see a band and you're like so excited to see the opening act? Usually you're like, I hope this is okay enough for me to not like that. I don't regret that I got here early.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had a moment to that point. It wasn't even an opener. It was someone that was during the show that Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg brought out at Coachella, and I remember being pissed.
And you're like, who is this?
I was like, who is this guy? He's interrupting the show. They want to like shout him out, give him a platform.
Trying to give him some promotion.
And it was Kendrick Lamar.
There you go.
I was like,
this is like before Kendrick was big.
yeah, this was Kendrick Lamar's first time being presented to the world, and to me, I was like,
weird
who
side
is
route.
this guy?
Well, I'll tell you right now, the Killers are not Dr. Dre, and I am not Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. So it did not parallel this example that
Yes, it
well,
did.
but it was funny. And then obviously them taking us to Vegas was like so sick because they were so generous with us, and playing.
Where was that show
at the Cosmopolitan?
Okay, so
What's the venue there called? It's
It was the Chelsea Ballroom.
The Chelsea Ballroom. It was so cool. I mean, that was just like a life. Like
we're like staying at the Cosmo.
Bucket list experience.
Like
like we didn't deserve it at all. We were just like, oh my god. I mean, it's easy to like feel. You don't feel like you're like, I'm not worthy of this right now. But you're like, I better live it up.
And we did certainly live it up.
But you do deserve it because you guys work your ass. That's one thing I don't think that, and I know you won't toot your horns on this, but I'm gonna toot your horns because you guys work so freaking hard on everything, and it shows. Because it's one thing to just be an artist, but now you're doing social media, and then you guys are engaging with your fans, and I see everything, and then having to put out music, and so it's like you have to wear all of these different hats now. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, we have this. We have a funny way of saying it. Getting to play music and actually put the music out is the final little cherry on top, the fun part, after you've done like 95% of all the bullshit that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So you do every other job, and then your reward at the end of the day is maybe you get to go and play some music with your friends.
That's like every day. Like I'll be like, all right, welcome. This is the TikTok studio today. Please, no guitars. No musical ideas allowed in this space. Like we just need to think of 5 things to do on TikTok. And like that can be really frustrating. But then other times, as much as like we'll get in a fight or like get upset about having to do it, like later it'll be the reward is high. Because it's like, oh, this thing did really well, or like like just putting a little bit of effort into it can make the other, like the cherry, worth it. It's frustrating because it's like a chicken and egg.
Yeah.
Like you're like, should we just do more music or no? We need to keep doing
more
all this
TikToks,
marketing, and
it can be very discouraging because you realize that you won't be able to do the music part unless you do all the stuff that's not fun
and do it well, not just like phone it in, but like do it for real.
And people only see the shiny part, like you said, the end result. And we were talking about like your music videos before you got here and how they're just going through, and you were saying how you had all these different parts to it and you had all these different people involved. So how have you changed kind of trajectories there as well, like you were talking about earlier, from involving all these people, feeling like you had to have all these things, to now?
Well, when you're starting to make music, it's really exciting, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make the best music video ever, and I'm gonna make this crazy album where I'm gonna have all these different people mix it, and it's gonna be so fun. And you realize that all that stuff just costs a lot of money, and at the end of the day, the way you can keep making music is by minding your dollars. And so it's and figuring out where to put your time and your effort and your money into things that are going to be actually beneficial. And you realize that you have these crazy dreams of a crazy music video, but at the same time we could just film each other on our phones and it'll get 10 times the views and cost $0. So it's like you kind of want to balance that, because you still want to try to make art and make things that are compelling, but you also need to be realistic about being a musician in 2023. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's easy for it to really get out of hand. But at the
one
same time,
day we'll go make our movie or whatever. But
piece de resistance.
But until then, I'll be on TikTok. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna hire Scorsese to.
Yeah, our next music video that we do for real will be directed by Martin Scorsese, starring Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
What would be like your dream music video?
Probably that. That would.
Yeah, or maybe going to like Jamaica and hanging out with like
or maybe we just
Sean
get like
Paul.
a catamaran and like fill it with strippers, and like
Sean Paul
and like 800 strippers.
I like that.
And then like they're all like, we're doing like we're like crowd surfing on top of the strippers, and then Sean Paul is singing Adam's part or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not even in the video.
No. Like it's like Sean Paul is performing as Adam.
That's
that could
what
be a good
Drake
idea.
did that.
Yeah, that was a
Justin
good idea.
Bieber.
I loved that.
Yeah, you can have Dr. Dre be you like on the DJ table.
Yeah.
And we're not even there. We're just like we're just in the party.
They're
Yeah.
like, you guys aren't allowed on this boat.
Yeah, we're trying to make a good music video. You guys can't be in this.
So what are your plans with this current album? Because like you said, you have all these different things that have gone into it. So now you're getting to that cherry on top where you're going to go perform. You got an album release coming out.
Big party at Antone's hometown venue,
Hometown.
July 29th.
The legendary. For people not familiar with Antone's is the most iconic, legendary venue in Austin.
It's very cool, and it's going to be a very fun party.
You sold out last time, so tickets will sell out.
They certainly will,
Again.
and I would encourage you, if you're listening to this before the show, it's not the 29th yet, and it's not sold out yet, grab a ticket, because if you try to come at the door, you might get left in the street, which would be sad.
Very sad
But
for
you
you.
can still take a selfie with the sign in your
Yes,
name.
but it will likely sell out before, but if it does not, then definitely get there early and try to grab a ticket.
And I have to say, we've been working very hard for this show to be the best show that we've ever made.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's the best show we've ever done, for sure.
Doing like crazy lights. We've got all these new songs. We got like all this new stuff. It's going to be a total party.
It's a brand new set list, brand new songs, lots of new ones, lots of the old favorites.
Different energy.
Yeah, I think it will be. A different energy is the best way to put it.
So that's going to be absolutely amazing. And then we've got one in Dallas the week before on the 22nd to kind of warm up. And we've got one in Houston August 5th to
At the Rustic.
continue celebrating the album. And then we haven't technically announced this yet, but we're going to be doing some extensive touring of the West Coast in the fall to celebrate the album release.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Have you been out there before?
We have
on
not
your
yet
tour?
been to the West Coast.
As a band
At
or
all?
as men?
As boys.
We've been.
I've been as a boy and as a man.
I've never had to get on stage and play my music on the West Coast.
No.
Maybe a little intimidating.
We're going to do all reggae versions when we get there.
With
so
Sean Paul.
Look out. Yeah.
Sean Paul.
I feel like he's going to make an appearance.
I would hope.
Somewhere along.
Sean Paul, if you're
One day
listening.
I hope he makes an appearance in my life.
I went to the When We Were Young Fest.
Oh, nice.
Or not When We Were Young. Yes, I did go to that, but the other one, it
Oh,
was the one with
the more hip hop leaning one.
Lovers and Friends.
Yeah, Lovers and Friends.
Sean Paul was there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
They had a whole like Wayne Wonder, that whole
They had everybody.
everybody.
It was
Ushers.
The lineup was insane.
Yeah.
The nostalgia fests are cool.
Yeah. Then When You Were Young was like that too. They had like every band that we liked in middle school or whatever in one
Yeah.
place.
That was amazing too. Very emo.
That seems really great.
I was crying
love
with
emo.
Dashboard Confessional. Who's your favorite emo band? I know y'all love Blink 182.
Do they even does Blink get the emo?
No,
pass?
not really.
No.
They just like pop punk.
I feel like Vince was more into that stuff.
Yeah, I'm very, very into emo. I guess like the one that like lasts forever is like I like Taking Back Sunday. Would probably be like one of my favorite, and then I can go deeper than that. But everybody likes Taking Back Sunday, kind of.
I'll embarrass myself if I try to talk about emo. I'm like a total fraud.
I don't think you've ever been going around like I love emo.
Like he'll put something on in the car, like him and his buddies, and they'll be like, "This is so good," and I'm like, "My ear, can we turn it down?" I'm such a wimp.
What are you listening to when you're not making music?
I pretty much only listen to Jason Isbell.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like a stan. It's like really annoying to most people, probably.
To me, especially.
Yeah.
So that's been an influence.
Just like Americana music, like usually tends to be softer, like less. I don't know, just something simple. I don't know. We listen to music all the time. I just like to listen to something like chill and pretty and introspective.
Yeah, that's music is good. His new album's very good. I listen
like
to
when you go out clubbing and you come home and like is that what you listen to on your own?
Turn it right back on.
Why I gotta be clubbing? Why do you think? I think that's like a common misconception.
No, not you. Like the figurative.
I was talking about her.
No, he's talking about that was a
personal assault. Holy shit.
That was a jab. He went at me.
No, I'm just asking you. What do you listen to when you're home alone?
That.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
So you're just raging all like
so
24 hours a
you
day.
just do like straight trance or like straight drum and bass as soon as you get back.
No, because that's intense. But sometimes that's just on. Like I leave different things on for my dog. So my
trance
dog
can be good.
So you force your dog to listen to.
He likes it.
That's
he does. He likes it. No, I'll put on. No, he watches like, and so I don't know. I put different things on for him when I leave, but I don't because I stopped doing that. I was like maybe. Like, what if something comes on when I'm not home and it's like really intense that he doesn't like and he runs away? So I started just putting on like regular TV. So you'll see like he'll watch like Judge Judy or all these like crazy
that makes a
trash
whole playlist of movies with dogs in it for his dog.
Seeing that like activates my dog. He gets all like wound up about it.
Yeah, so like the dog.
He'll be like he hates Air Bud. He can't.
Yeah, he can't watch that.
Yeah, like they don't like Air Bud, but they like Luck or whatever. You know, like some other movie with some stupid beagle or something.
Yeah, Leon can't watch that.
Yeah.
He has to watch like people stuff, but it's usually like old westerns, and you'll see like
or
random.
Judge Judy.
Yeah, or Judge Judy, and like I was watching one. Do you guys ever watch that? I don't know. I only started watching it just because I put
Judge
stuff on for it during the day. Just different, like it was like Judge Mathis or Judge.
Oh, like daytime
Judge
programming.
just daytime. Yes.
No, I try not to.
Like if you're,
I try not to either, but it's kind of I'm kind of hooked now.
It's like when you're like sick in like elementary school and you're
just like Maury for
Yeah.
like 5 hours.
There was one, and I only watched. I got
I think he
sucked
passed
in.
away.
It was a lady versus her wedding tango instructor, and the lady's husband left her
for the tango instructor.
Because she was trying to give him lessons for their first dance.
Wow.
And so the whole thing, and basically like it was really cool because the judge was like, technically, if we were in a different court, like this girl doesn't have a case because it is what it is. But since you were trifling, I'm ruling in the other favor.
The
What
TV law.
what law did they
TV law.
break?
TV law.
What law did he break?
That she broke, or that technically she was trying to say that since she didn't make it to her first dance, because this girl basically like the instructor,
Right. She shouldn't have to pay.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
like,
I mean, the instructor should maybe just give her a break. She got the lady's
and the
husband.
instructor's like, I didn't like break up your wedding. He chose not to be. It was just, and I was like, I wonder if this is real. If it's not real, it looks
Just the
real.
fee for the lessons?
Yeah, but it was like
See, that's what I never understand with the TV court is like they just find the most goofiest crap. Like you're like nobody
these
would
people
ever
were
waste
so
their time in
serious, though.
court for like $400 on a tango.
It was like
lesson.
$700.
Like what
It's
do you?
like $700, and I think she
gotta
just
cut
wanted to
your
make
losses.
she just wanted to make a point
So it's not a small
and
claim
put
either.
this girl on blast.
Minuscule claim.
Yeah.
And then the husband was there. The guy came up and they had to like talk to him, and he's like,
no.
"Oh, it was. See, you're in. I got you guys hooked.
I know it's juicy.
It's juicy."
What were we talking
That was the
about?
most exciting thing.
Oh,
that I
music
watched.
that we listen to.
There
I don't know. Yeah, it comes in waves. I spend time. I'm very phasey with my. I'd be like only trap rap or only emo.
Trap rap.
I love like.
What's trap rap?
Oh, just like I like hip hop, but like with like an emphasis on like the more trappy beats.
Like who's like? Give me an example of an artist.
Like Future.
Okay.
He has some like not trappy stuff, but either way, like I mean, just a million.
Who's that guy you wouldn't turn off for like a month straight?
I love like Polo G.
Polo G.
But that's more like R&B, like it's a different subgenre of, because it has like soul samples on it. I don't. It's there's a lot of little nuances to it, but yeah, I love hip hop and I love emo and I like classic rock and yacht rock and country, but not all at once usually.
That's good.
Hey, it's all of that music you named is music that was made in a country. So in my opinion, it's all country music.
This is an idea that he's working on. Most people haven't been able to understand it because it's not valuable.
I'm just saying, if you are from a country and you make music,
it's country music.
You make country music.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
music of a country.
Understand.
It's really dumb.
It's the same kind of thing like the judge. It doesn't really like
it's fine. It's
country
fine.
music.
Country music. Music of a country. Like, I make country music.
Do you though?
Am I from a country? Yes. Am I making music? Yes.
It's here and there, you know.
I can tell he's like really thought this out.
I've tried it multiple
working.
times.
He's putting his.
It seems like it needs more work to me. You gotta set it up better.
Oh, so being in Austin now, how have you guys, since before to now, I feel like you've really kind of staked your claim in Austin. Like you said, you had time to produce here.
We had staked it, and then the Californians came, and now we've staked it a little further south.
Yeah, we had to move south. Our studio's still up north. If any Californians want to, have a brawl in the street, we're available.
You're about to go to the West Coast.
I like the California. I like California.
We love the Californians. I'm just where our studio is
you have
different.
kind of a California vibe.
I like that everyone moves here because
it means
it's more people to
better.
hang out with and stuff. Yeah.
It does. It means that it's better. I was just joking.
People that are afraid of like change and stuff, it's just not worth it. Things are gonna roll the way they're gonna roll. You know what I mean?
Where does that influence come from? Like, has there been any kind of like defining moment that's kind of changed you from not? Because I know before, like you were saying, you've stayed out of the drama and you don't involve yourself in that. But I feel like there's always like some kind of defining moment or something that happens in someone's life that kind of shifts them in a different direction.
More people mean more people that can buy tickets to your damn show. I mean, come on. What are you whining about? It's like,
so you just figured what to kind of put your focus on more.
Yeah,
so.
just you gotta, what is it if you don't
put up or
adapt
shut
or die? Yeah, put up or shut up. You know what I mean? I mean, come on, you can sit around and complain that my town's gone, but it's like, come on, man. Why is it? It's never yours. You were lucky enough to be born here. Or you moved here a couple years before. It's not like you own it.
No.
You can go move somewhere else then. You know?
Try out Nebraska. We've been there recently.
Yeah, Nebraska's great. Omaha.
Do you really like?
It's a hell of a town.
Nebraska?
Do you know? There's a lot of stuff going on there.
What other town has kind of just surprised you as far as another place that you're
We love Charleston, South Carolina.
Milwaukee.
Really?
We like Milwaukee.
Well, we got robbed in Milwaukee, but other than that, we liked it.
But it wasn't like a full frontal robbery. Nobody knows about that. So, but anyways,
We do now.
they do now.
Unless we need to edit it out.
Yeah, but either way, I love Milwaukee and I like Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, the fans different there too.
Well,
Did you guys go there personally, or did you go there as
On tour?
me and
On
Adam?
tour, yeah. And I've been there a couple different ways too. But like, yeah, South Carolina's a party, and like it's just good vibes. And then
kind of like the towns that are like medium size.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charleston is like
pretty small.
If I just had to guess, it's probably like 200,000 people or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just seems like there's like people are just down to do stuff and be fun about it instead of worried if they like look cool or if they're going to the right thing on the right night. They're just like going to the place they like to go, and that's just gonna be fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like everybody's not trying too hard to like have a good time or like do something that's unachievable or whatever.
Yeah, we gotta have the perfect night. And if you go in with an attitude like that, then you're never gonna have fun. It's like that's why New Year's always sucks because everyone's like, "What are we gonna do for New Year's? What are we gonna do for New Year's?"
Mm-hmm.
Or like, "What are we gonna do for Halloween?" Halloween always ends up kind of sucking too, unless you take tons of drugs. But which, right? So anyway, that's why it hasn't sucked for me in a long time. But anyway, because you have these high standards of what is gonna happen, and so you get so worked up that you have to have the perfect New Year's Eve that everyone ends up crying at the end of the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or it's just like it's actually not that fun. You never actually do anything very fun because you just do what everybody else is doing. What everybody else is doing is not very fun usually. It's like that, no exclusive.
You're sitting there in front like, well, they're at this show and then they're doing this and they're doing that, and you're like, well, why don't we just
spend the whole night
go
just
there?
chasing
and
somebody?
Well, then I could do
people
something
around.
else. Yeah.
You gotta set in and find contentness.
See, I feel like I don't know. I guess New Year's is one of my favorite holidays, but I think it's because I feel like I'm at the right place.
Whoa.
And I say that very confidently, like for me, but it's
Choose-
it's for like what I will enjoy. Like
You
if I
chose
make a
what you wanted
decision,
to do.
if
Yeah.
I'm making a decision, I'm going to a Me and Adam show
Which I
at the
respect.
Cosmo. Like I'm gonna enjoy the fuck out of that because I decided to do that.
Because the killers would be coming on after us.
But it's never like, I guess I don't have that FOMO and like I should
FOMO
be
is
here
a terrible.
or I should be there. It's always like
If somebody's
gonna,
doing FOMO, like I will happily let them leave.
Are you really going to make me sit here and say, yes, Clarissa, you're good at planning on things to do at nighttime? Yes, obviously.
No, I wasn't.
Clearly
That
you're
wasn't bait. That wasn't.
She was hunting for a compliment.
No, I was not.
Clearly
fishing
she's
for a
very good
compliment.
at figuring out what
No,
is fun
I
to
don't
do
mean
and
that.
doing it because it's been lucrative for you to be good at that. It's a talent you have. Not
I
everyone has
disagree.
it. Some people sit around
I'm
and
not
stew in
doing that
anxiety.
on purpose.
She
No, I'm
just
not
find
doing that.
her- She's just being content. No FOMO.
Exactly. I just think at the end of the day, and maybe that comes from, I was in a relationship for a very long time, like in my formative years. I was in a relationship for one of them was like 5.5 years and the other one was like 3.5 years. So in that time, it was like long distance. So I got in the habit of like not going out to like find attention with dudes, or I was just going out to like find fun and whatever was fun with friends. And so it was never about like searching for something else. It was always like, okay, cool, I'm going out with this friend and we're going to have a good time wherever we go. And so that's kind of been like
It's only going to get this fun because I still have to go home to this shitty dude at the end of the night. So,
well, he wasn't there. I mean,
Right.
you know. But that's where, but like even now, like I go out and I'm not trying to like talk to a bunch of people. Like I'm going out to enjoy the show, and I don't go out like, it's really weird. I don't really go out to bars. I only go out to unless there's like people there, or shows or events.
I go to bars.
Everything's
I
like
do the exact opposite. I find.
see, when people go to bars, I'm like, what do you do there?
Get wasted.
get drunk.
Yeah.
Like we like to go to this bar called the 04 Lounge because there's
Really?
Oh, so I should it's
Oh,
great.
you just outed it.
Well,
Is this the one that's south?
no,
I mean, no, it's in the
It's
04.
not even here. Yeah, it's not
No,
here.
it doesn't exist.
You're saying that now, but
It's
we'll bleep it out.
there's a great thing about a dive bar because there isn't anything to do but just sit there and like
And
enjoy
they don't turn the music up too loud.
Right.
It's like very relaxing.
enjoy the company of the people you went with and have
Exactly.
have some stiff cocktails.
Like it's not like you're just going to the bar. You like tell like a good group of people that you're meeting up.
Got
There's
it.
no FOMO. You're not like, oh, like what about this show or like what about that show? You're like actively like this is the thing we're doing. We're like sitting here and just chatting and like chilling.
If you want to go home or you want to go to the show, go for it.
Yeah.
See, I don't think I've done that in a very
You would probably be bored.
well. The only time I can think of like one time I've done that in Austin.
One
where,
time
like,
you've been to a bar,
where
just
I-
to go to a dive bar.
where I went out. No, because I went to school in Mobile, Alabama. I used to go to dive bars all the time.
Hell yeah.
I love dive bars,
you.
We
but
were
it's
gonna
never
play
been
it-
like the intention of like I'm going there just
Sure.
to.
We didn't get to play at the kitchen.
Like I love Sidebar.
Soul Kitchen.
Sidebar is one of my favorite.
Sidebar is great.
I love Sidebar.
That's good.
We were there we went after the Blink-182 show.
See,
Yeah.
that's like the place to go. Sidebar has the stiffest drinks.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that.
No comment.
We had a couple people in our party
They're like,
run away from the bar.
And then we got him back, and then the guy was like, "Yeah, but you can only have a single tall."
Yeah.
Whoa, they actually told you
a
you can only
single
have
at the
single.
sidebar is still
It's
like,
like a triple. Yeah. I was like, I respected it. I was like, yeah, he needs a couple singles in a row.
Yeah, like you don't even need shots there.
Yeah.
You just need the actual
Like-
drink. Everybody knows that.
It's for the bold.
It is.
You could do their slogan. Yep. Sidebar, we have some ideas. Give us a call.
We're also coming back this weekend. We can talk.
Okay, so I know Rick Rubin talks about this a lot. Like when you're producing, like at what point do you stop?
We had like finished it, I would say.
Really?
I mean, it was like, yeah. I think it was mostly what we thought was done.
Yeah, we had it bounced out and we were sending it around to people.
Yeah, like,
here's our new album.
You're like, this is the new album, and then I don't know. I just was I was listening to it. I texted Adam, I think, and I think he was already feeling the same way. I was like, I just don't think it's done right now, and he was like, yeah, I feel the same way. So
Did
we
you
just,
redo the entire thing or just parts
no,
of it?
like yeah, like it was. It's just we just wanted more time. Like we were just like, I don't know. It's not done. You can't really define that feeling, but like
Got
it
it.
didn't have certain songs that are the singles now, or they sound completely different, and so yeah, it didn't feel like it had like.
I don't think it had any of the singles.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, that's actually true.
Wow.
Yeah, it had none of the songs that we released as singles. It had a couple that didn't. Yes, a couple got switched out. A couple got redone.
Yeah, because you
So,
talked
yeah.
about your creative process back then versus now, and I remember like you guys would have like differing views on a lot of the songs, on just like, hey, I feel like it should have a little bit more of this or different more.
I think now he and I are more unified and it's more confident and solidified. So we were able to now reach out to some collaborative people for this record.
Okay.
Because we feel like we're tied in together.
Nice.
So this time we co-wrote with some people for the first time.
Who'd you co-write with?
The 2 of the 3 singles we did with our buddy George Geekus, the bassist and the Revivalists.
Amazing.
And then the 3rd single we did with our buddy Max Frost, who's a fellow Austinite.
So how'd you get connected to those 2?
Well, we went to school with George in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Revivalists were playing. We were in other bands at the time, not me and Adam, but we were always just buddies with them. George worked at the bar we would frequent. You would have hated it.
I don't hate bars.
Actually, there was a stage. There was a stage.
I don't want to say I hate. Don't spread that rumor that I hate. I don't hate bars.
I'm just messing with you.
I do like bars. I just don't. I have to have like a purpose.
Of course.
Yeah. This had a stage that many great and also many terrible bands played on.
G-Eazy, the Revivalists.
I think every person I know has played there.
Have you guys played there?
Well, all those people I just named went to our school.
We
went to school with us.
played there
Yeah.
a million times. Yeah.
Anyway, so the Revivalist guys are just friends from college, and we were just wanting to jam. We always wanted to work with George, and he came to town, and we ended up, the 3 songs we used, all 3 became singles, which was crazy. And then Max, we've just known him forever because he's from here.
Great songwriter.
Yeah, we're the same year in high school and stuff, and he just hit me up one day out of the blue, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, what's up, dude? Actually, I ran into him at Polvo's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were at Polvo's, and we saw him, and I was like, dude, that's Max Frost.
This was a phase where we go to Polvo's, and all we would do is hammer
Pitcher margaritas.
Mexican martinis. When they bring you each person their own little shaker.
Yeah.
And I swear we were probably sitting there for like 5 hours, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go say what up to Max Frost, and then he like bounces. Yeah. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember you, and then it worked out.
He was totally lying, and then I messaged him, and I'm like, hey, by the way, this is Adam. I met you at Polvo's. He's like, oh, what's up, bro? I'm like, yo, dude. And then a couple years later, he just called us. He's like, yo, you guys, music's pretty dope. Like, what are you guys working on? We're like, I don't know, come over.
Yeah, it was chill.
And we just knocked out a song in like a couple hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it more so when you do these collaborations? You know, the Revivalists have their own song, their own sound. Max Frost has his own sound, even though he's very eclectic. I feel like he can go a different directions.
He can.
What do they try to tailor it more to you? Do they try to infuse more of their song or their sound? Like, how does that collaboration work?
I think I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say that it's like you have so much intent when you start. I think
that would usually probably make it worse if you.
Like for someone who doesn't know, so like I said, you have the average person that's listening to you guys, and they're listening to the new album, and they're gonna hear like what
I got you.
Someone who wants like the behind the scenes.
Yeah,
What's
of course.
that process
Like if
like?
Bob Dylan was gonna write a song with Guns N' Roses, and he's like, and Guns N' Roses, if Axl was like, yo, Bob, I got this really cool song I wrote for you as Bob Dylan, that song's gonna be really bad.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like if Axl Rose trying to impersonate Bob Dylan.
There's a couple examples of it where it works out, but it's like, I think generally you come with like an idea that you think might be like cool to work on with that person, and then you find the common ground, and then I think in a lot of writing situations, like you kind of figure out what to do with it later anyways. Like you don't want to go in and be like, we gotta get this done for the album, like, or what, you know what I mean, or else that just cramps everybody's like vibe. You just want to see what happens, and then from there you can kind of decide like the purpose or why the song exists. Sometimes you just do it and it's like a positive exercise or something, you know, like it can just be like something you've done and then you don't use it, but it's like fortifies the relationship. You figure out how to work together, stuff like that. So
I mean, I feel like there's been a lot of kind of like opposite. I mean, like look at Dolly Parton with "I Will Always Love You," and I'm sure she never thought like Whitney Houston would get her hands on that. So I feel like, you know, people like Max Frost can write something, and then he might be like, oh, actually, this would be good for me and Adam.
Yeah, I think he does that a lot.
I wonder with Whitney though, she probably heard the song and was like, I want to do this.
That's what Rihanna did with Kevin Parker, Tame Impala songs.
Oh, I didn't know that he worked on some of her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love.
Well, she reached out for him, and she was like, I want to do this song. So it's just wild. I think that's what I'm fascinated with the whole like writing process.
Yeah, we didn't go in with any plans with George, with the Revivalist guy, or with Max. We just they just came over to the studio and we just started like.
It was like ideas.
If something is kind of cool in some way, then it can just grow. Everyone's in there like molding it like a pot on the wheel or something.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone gets like a little bit of their flavor in there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But usually it comes out not really like anybody's flavor, and we have some new thing that everyone's like, "Whoa, that's kind of cool. We made that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can. It's interesting because like the song can be a lot different than like a final production goal or something, like it'll just change rapidly towards the end or something. You'll be like, all right, well, let's
like you can make you
can
write a
push
song with
it.
someone, and then the person you wrote it with would be like, well, I don't know if that's the direction I would have taken it, but you're like, it's cool, man, I got what I needed out of it, and like I'm gonna take it this way. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So you can make it sound completely different. Like you hear that all the time on like viral social media videos where somebody just takes a song and it's like the complete opposite. Like
Or like Dolly, like I Will Always Love You, Dolly Parton's version versus Whitney Houston's version.
yeah,
Same
just do
song,
it.
completely different.
Yeah.
Right.
So once you
Deal.
sort of have the song and like some essential components, you could just be like, all right, let's try it this way, or like let's put a spin on it this way, or something like that. So.
Well, you guys have been pioneers, I feel like, when it comes to the whole trash wave persona and sound. Would you still classify yourselves
Certainly.
as trash wave?
Always will be.
Even with
I
this
think
new
we,
sound?
well, I think whatever we do, hopefully, still sounds like us. But in general, I'd say the sound is hemmed up a bit in the direction of more rock forward
Oh, nice.
music.
Yeah. It's
So that's what you would say as someone that's coming to your show, that's been to, like, I've been to all, like, your other shows.
Now I would say we're an all rock band.
Got it.
for sure. That's what we want to be. That's what
Whereas
we're doing.
before, maybe we're like, I don't know what this is, but I'm having fun. Now I feel like it's a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah, and
I
like
hope.
I think talk about trash wave and like it's more of like an ethos, it's more like an idea. It's not like a sound. It's a mentality.
What's that mentality?
You know, I
From the,
believe.
from the trash we came into the trash we will return.
You've said that before in unison. Do you guys still finish each other's sentences?
We're not as good as the Bros Fresh.
That's true. Credits due where credits due.
I should have finished it. Damn. We spend a lot, probably too much time together. It's funny. We were talking the other day. It's like most adults don't spend this much time with another adult, like that's not
By
their
choice?
wife or something.
Not their significant other.
And I spend
yeah.
more time with Vince than I do with anyone else I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
it's just odd to have two adults
Like how-
spending this much time together with no one else around.
Yep.
Like on a typical week, how much time are you guys
Like
spending
60
together?
hours,
60 hours?
probably.
Hopefully not. Not recently. But yeah, when we're like full steam on like creative stuff, yeah, I'd say
At least 30.
yeah,
And
like
no
minimum
one el-
30, top 60.
And there's not anyone else. There's no other coworkers in the room.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
you know, like right now, since we're done the album and we're like more in like a marketing phase, we can do some work remotely. We can. It's like different. Like when we're doing like when we were working on this album, I feel like we spent like 1 year, like probably not sequentially, but like 1 year of like time together, just to
You guys
get it done.
you used to live together too, right? Back in New Orleans for a
in New
little
York
bit?
too, yeah.
In New York?
New Orleans.
Done
I had my
cocaine.
Uber driver ask me about ecstasy the other day.
What do you-
It was really weird.
Maybe you
I just got sent all
were
this
you-
stuff.
were
I
you
got
like,
sent.
You're like reaching in the front seat, like rubbing his leg, and you're like, he's like, damn, this chick probably has some good ecstasy.
Like, can I get some of this ecstasy you have?
She was asking me. She picked me up from the Concourse Project, and she's like, "Do people do ecstasy in there?" I was like, "Ecstasy."
No, they don't.
I was like, "I'm
Never.
sure there are." She's like, "Do you do?" I was like, "No." I had a really bad experience with ecstasy. I'll never do it again. I accidentally chugged a bottle of water that had like 4 points of Molly in it.
That's fun.
That seems like a normal amount, right?
It was no,
much for
like
you?
half of a point, 1 point is like normal, I guess.
Okay.
Average to take, and I took like triple, quadruple that.
You're in it.
It was bad.
Did you have to go to the hospital or anything?
No, had to get on a flight back to Austin.
You're just probably just.
I went to the
drawing out.
bathroom. I like purged the demon, but as much as I could, and then I was
I did that on Halloween last year.
I don't recommend it.
I really wish I could have been your seatmate on that flight back.
Ooh.
Halloween
I don't
last year,
remember any of
I
it.
did exactly what I did the purge as well. I was
That's what you had to. I didn't know what
I was
to do.
just kind of like too excited about some stuff,
It was scary.
and then all of a sudden I was sitting there and I was like, I think I just overdid this, and I was like, I better go directly to undo this.
So you felt? I felt like
No,
that
it was
a
before.
dark place
No, it was
the
before
next
anything
day.
started. I just was like, I just thought about it deeply. I had taken some of our friendly fungus stuff and
Mushrooms.
yes,
I love mushrooms.
and I was just like, we're gonna troll, and then I was like, I don't need to do that, or like we had to play the next day. I don't
you
know.
ever
So it was
played
a long series of
on
yeah.
mushrooms and
not in this band's not very like, we're not like a super trippy or anything.
psychedelic.
Yeah, but I've played in bands where you could be more elaborative.
I feel like that would be like,
That's
I mean,
like it's funny because people are always like, well, rock and roll this, rock and roll that, so rock and roll. But
Yeah.
I think like any band, pretty much that it's not like a stoner jammy band or whatever. Like most of those guys are pretty serious up there.
straight and narrow.
Yeah.
I feel like they are too. A lot of the DJs are as well. They're all like, so the ones that are like
shit is
really successful.
That shit is really complicated. Like if you're like really like tripping out, like you'll be looking at that shit and it's like it's hard to like remember like what the hell's going on.
Well, I'm sure, like, yeah, if you're
You're
trying
looking
to
at
like,
this shit, you're like, what the hell's going on?
yeah, like the walls, these vines are
Well,
moving.
you might just be like, why am I doing this?
Like what? Who am I?
Yeah.
Have you ever had any kind of big epiphanies on mushrooms or anything like that?
I think when you're on mushrooms, you definitely think you have a grand epiphany. But I don't know if any have ever carried over
Very
into
cyclical
the.
Really?
thing. Yeah, it's like I think people get real into like the idea that they're having epiphanies, and then like the epiphany eventually is that there is like no epiphany. The only thing that I will say about that is that I do think that the epiphany that I've had is like you can usually just kind of sense if somebody has or has not like had like an ego death or something, you know.
What's an ego death for people that aren't familiar?
It's like it's just like when you take like a hero's dose of psychedelic
Like
drugs.
you probably trip and like be like, well, Adam is a weak man.
No, I don't think that at all. I'm just saying like
He's
after
way
that.
nicer to you this go around. You guys are way nicer to each other. I just want to point that out.
Well, we saw Blink-182 recently, and they were nice to each other on stage.
Is that why? Because I know you guys like
They weren't that
near
nice to
them.
each other.
But you guys, before you guys roasted each other the whole entire time. The entire time. You roasted me,
I think we got a little.
and now you're like really nice.
I think that has to do with just being drunk.
and mature.
Yeah, no, I think we're equally as immature as then.
Yeah, last time we had this sponsorship with this alcoholic beverage company, and
like,
I was
we were
really
really-
testing out the product heavily.
It was a different time.
Yeah, it was also COVID, remember? And it was like there weren't
Yeah.
any rules really.
Right.
Like I got to go home and make like a Greek salad and go to bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm still maybe gonna exercise. That's still on the
Yeah.
that could happen.
You guys have turned over a new leaf.
I just don't like it. I just don't like to think about it like
It's
that.
maturity.
No.
I think it's just, you should just own it.
I still let loose.
You're still
I'm
cool.
still I'm still fun. I still party.
Yeah, right, honey. We're still cool.
So what is next? You said this tour's coming up. You've got all this music coming
Release
out.
show, album release show.
I got it.
Go, you got it.
Album comes out July 28th. Huge release party in Austin, Texas at Antone's July 29th. Then we've got Houston release party August 5th at the Rustic. And then we're going to hit the road for a fall tour that will be announced very soon. And then we'll, of course, bring it home in the wintertime with our classic annual play, which we'll get into details with that later. We'll probably come back and tell you about it.
Yeah, I definitely want to hear it.
But yeah, big album. We're focused on the album right now, all the way.
Yeah, I can tell.
Album.
You guys look like, I mean, you just have been so focused on the album. And I still feel like you're, I mean, I'm sure that's a pretty intense process overall, like to finally have like some breathing room.
I'm just so excited for it to come out, so I don't have to think about it ever again.
Yeah, like announcing it today I was like, you're
Such
worried
a
about it for a
big-
couple of days. You hit post on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, whew, I'm done.
Do you guys handle all your own social?
Yes. We handle all our own everything.
There's nothing that's being handled.
Unless we don't handle it, and then it was someone else's fault.
And then it didn't get handled.
Yeah.
Have you had any like TikTok viral? Oh, you mentioned TikTok.
Not like super viral. We had one video do really well recently. That was like, it's just a little snippet of Heartbeat of My Soul, one of our singles.
And I was like a huge TikTok hater, I never wanted to do it. And
Yeah.
he was really persistent that we kept posting on TikTok. If you're out there and TikTok is a nightmare to you,
Do you have any tips? Because I'm about to join the
yeah,
TikTok
it can be
world.
it's a total
I
nightmare.
haven't gone into it.
It's not a
You just
total.
gotta keep going, and then eventually, if you get one that goes, you will if you're consistent, and then you'll be like, oh my gosh, I should be doing this all the time.
Yeah.
What about TikTok lives? I've heard that's where it's at.
Can we live yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do it all. We just don't like it's tough because it's like there's so many ways to use every platform. So if you can just find a way to like do each one like regularly enough, I feel like is a battle in and of itself. But yeah, I think going live there's a lot of ways to use the platform that get very like complicated very quickly as well.
Someone's recommending. I've been told numerous times. Everyone's like, you need to get on TikTok live. But I
For
gotta
this, yeah, I think that this would probably be
bunch.
good.
Let me say this: this is the first episode of Concert Queen Connect
get
season two. So what's up with you? What's going on? What are you working on?
What do you got in the bag?
This is your first episode. I feel like people want to hear from you too. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
All right.
No, they probably do. I appreciate that.
What's going on?
I told you when I get in the zone about you guys. No, I mean, I am glad to be doing this. This is what I love to do. I feel like we've gone back. Like, remember when y'all
came to our first show in Austin?
Came to your first show in Austin.
Yeah.
You guys had this awesome like videographer, and we got some like cool photos and videos together.
With
and
Rob, yeah.
You guys rocked it out. Yeah, Rob Loud. Rob Loud.
Yeah.
I met him.
Rob Lowe would be cooler, but Rob Loud.
Rob Loud's really cool.
Rob
I met
Loud.
him through our mutual friend David Wrangler.
Nice.
So you guys have that New York connect.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I mean, this is what I love doing. And I'm starting another like solo podcast
That's cool.
that's just going to be talking about life and things and
Some ramblings.
yeah,
That'll
just
be
different
fun.
things that I can just talk freely about different topics.
That'll be nice.
And yeah, just kind of leading the charge for women as much as I can.
That's admirable.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Same.
Leading the charge for women.
I mean, I'm not. I'm slightly kidding, but I'm also not. We pretty much exclusively hire women as often as we can.
That's awesome.
All of our photographers, videographers, we usually try to go that direction.
Oh, I appreciate
It's like a lot chiller to be around.
right.
Yeah.
The energy, I'm sure.
I've got
No
we
offense,
got
guys.
I've got enough. We've got enough
There's a
going
lot of
on.
dudes, yeah. There's a lot of dudes. You can get a dude anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's plenty of dudes all over the place.
Which I
Plenty
talk
of
to none
dudes.
of them.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like I've become more of a hermit. Since you guys have seen me, I've become more and more like
Because all the dudes out there.
I don't go out as much.
watch out for him.
Yeah. But it's true though. I think that's where it's just like I know I joke about like that's I feel like at a bar and I know a lot of girls like that. It sucks to kind of be a girl in this day and age and go out and you can't like you have to worry about like walking around at night. You can't walk around out by yourself.
or even just being in the club.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I
like,
usually
accosted
that's
all
why
the
like if
time,
I'm
yeah.
going, it's because I know people or I know someone or I
Right.
know the artist, and so I feel protected. And it's like
It's not going
a
to be
nice
tedious
space.
and crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
There's-
you're in GA at a big concert or something, I mean, Jesus.
it's intense, and I've done that. I'm not saying I'm like above that or anything, but I just don't prefer it. I mean, that's why I started my whole platform originally, so I could get like the bougier access, and it's just I'm fortunate now that I've made friends with a lot of artists and people that just genuine connections. And I just think that there's a need, which is why I'm doing this, to tell y'all's story, because at the end of the day, like people want you to make music. They don't necessarily need you. I mean, I don't know. My heart kind of just goes out to artists these days because I do feel like it's intense. Like it's a lot to handle. I know what it's like just for me, but I feel like I'm more of like a marketing media personality than I am an actual artist. And like, you don't want people. Can you imagine if like Vincent Van Gogh was trying to paint his art, like all of his paintings, but then also like market himself and do these different things? Like, I don't feel like that should be your sole focus.
There's a quote that I'm not going to get right, but it says something like, "Oh, bless the youth."
Abraham Lincoln invented the toaster.
No,
in
it's just like if you would have.
1940.
I'm being serious. It's something along the lines of if you would have known how hard it would be, you never would have had the heart to start.
Oof.
And
Yeah,
so
who said that?
it's good. But anyway, I guess it is like, I mean, you have to do all these things. We're all self-employed here, and you have to do all these other little things that aren't the fun part, like sitting here and shooting the shit with you or playing a live show.
This is fun.
Yeah. You got to do all the other stuff,
Yeah.
and that's just how it goes, and it can be intimidating. It's a lot. So
Right.
my heart goes out to everybody who's out there doing it.
We have to do it. And like you said, there's like a new platform, like Threads came out, and I'm like, oh my
Oh
God.
my God.
That's
What's
all
up?
that's all about human engagement, so it's just a little different than the rest
I've been
of the platform.
posting on Threads. I just post whatever I post on everything else on Threads, and it's
Right.
just, I mean, it seems like there are some people in there really getting in there on Threads.
Right.
Well, because they think that
Threadheads.
the
Threadheads? Is that the name for
I just
them?
came up with it. I don't know.
the interactions are going to be like more organic and more off the cuff because it's just new and people are just figuring it out, so the engagement's higher and stuff until they like
Are you guys on Threads?
figure out how to destroy it.
No.
Are you on Threads?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got on.
I wasn't
Threads.
on Twitter, but are you a Twitter person?
I always left it to Adam to Twitter.
I
didn't
maintain
do
the
it.
Twitter.
You tweeter?
I don't.
Twit?
I only tweet stuff about the band. I don't get involved
Yeah.
with the discourse of.
It's like
of
it's
everyday
it's
happenings.
interesting to have like a band Twitter. It's like if you go to Twitter, it's like it just feels much more like you need to be a person to like
Yeah.
so it's hard to deliver like overarching opinions as a
If I was
band,
gonna get in there and get like sassy, I would probably need to just be from like my account or something. But I don't have a personal
like
Twitter.
we'll like make jokes and then we're like put that on Twitter or something, you know what I mean? But like it's not like, I don't know, Twitter to me just seems like every person like wishes they were a comedian, and it's just like endless
Right.
people trying to have hot takes, and
I
it's
can see
like
that.
you're just throwing shit at the wall until like somebody's like, that's really funny, but like most people aren't funny, you know. Most
Right.
like 99% of people just are stupid and lame, so you know.
Oh, I know. Sitting next to one right now.
That's why I don't have a Twitter. Actually, I do have a Twitter. What am I talking about? I'm gonna get on there right now.
Yes, you do. You
Just
should
to
tweet.
prove
You
that
should
I'm
tweet
not
this.
stupid and lame.
But I do. I feel like you have to. I mean, it's with all the artists, and I talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, you're just overwhelmed." And like at the end of the day, I'm someone who just feels like you should just be focused on music. Like if you devoted all of that time just to doing music,
And nobody
how
would
much
care.
exponentially greater the music would be.
But like nobody would care about the music.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
you might be lucky, and like you'd be like the 1 in a million person that like puts out a song on like this. Like used to happen in like the SoundCloud era. Like you drop like one song, put it on SoundCloud, and then like whatever A&R from Universal like calls you, oh my god, we can't wait to sign you. It's like that. I haven't heard that shit happen to any person. I guess like Lil Nas X might
Yeah,
be like the last one.
the
or something.
SoundCloud rappers.
But I wouldn't, even if you gave me nothing to do with make music, I would still wouldn't come up with something as genius as Old Town Road. You know what I mean? Out of nowhere. I just don't think that's in me. I think it's going to be the long road.
I think we got a couple of town roads in us.
I think you do.
Well,
I
either
think
way,
you need. Would you collab with Lil Nas X?
of course.
Yeah. No, just no way.
Who's like a dream collab of someone that you would
Sean
love?
Paul.
Besides
John
Sean Paul.
Paul.
What's the connection to Sean Paul?
Just
Just rocks. dude.
admiration.
Yeah.
In 80.
I would love to collaborate with like Zach Bryan or something like that.
That
you
would be
know?
awesome.
Yeah.
I think we're very open to anybody collaborating with us. So just give us a call. You know, hit us up on Twitter.
Threads, please.
But Threads, if you really want to be, if you want a response.
Nice.
Is there anything else that you guys would like to talk about?
I feel like that was pretty like restrained and pretty
Very
good.
mellow.
I just want to make sure that
Is it
everybody.
okay? Were you expecting more out of me? I feel like I might
I
have let you
was.
down.
I'm gonna like save this and maybe post it
What?
like right before you. I'm gonna get like 2 or 3 more episodes before you guys.
Bummer.
Just kidding.
She's got to come out with a bang, dude. We didn't deliver the bang.
I
No.
was gonna say I want to make sure that everybody brings their mothers to our shows.
Okay.
I thought you had the audio team move your cable. I thought you said you were gonna throw the mic around.
No. It's just wrapped around my leg right now. Is all.
Ah.
No, I just want to make sure that compassion is given towards mothers.
No, I think you guys are just way more focused. That's where, I mean, you sound way more focused. I think I caught you on a day that you're like a little bit more restrained. You're holding back for sure.
I'm not.
I think you guys feel like you had to go so far the other direction after your first episode.
That's
Because
not
the first
true.
episode was a shit show.
That
Let's
w-
be honest.
But I
What
remember.
were we even? We were talking about
I remember it was
absolutely
a shit
nothing
show
for like an
for
hour and a
sure.
half.
I know, I didn't realize it until we got to the end. And
then it was like
I was like, oh God, let's talk about your music for a second.
yeah, I thought like now we kind of threaded the needle. Before it was just some ramblings.
This is a pretty accurate, just tie it all up with a nice pretty bow. This is a pretty accurate description of your album now. Because the first album you said was kind of like all over the place. That was like the first episode. The second episode was way more collected,
Yeah.
way more restrained,
We
way more
always like to say
intentional.
we demand to be taken seriously. So
I think a lot of people are gonna take you seriously.
just think about that.
What's this merch? Where can I get one of these hats?
They just went live on the store.
Let me get a pack of reds and $10 on Pump Six.
And
Let's
it's
go.
got me and Adam like.
I really like it. I've been staring at it. It's not. That's why I've been staring at you.
Super
not in a weird
exclusive.
way.
There's tons of exclusive merch on our store, meandadam.com. By the time this comes out, I hope it's still there.
I really want a hat.
Luckily,
Want a
I
hat
think,
and a
you
shirt.
might know a guy or two.
I would like a hat and a shirt, please. I'm
All
gonna
right,
put that
care
request
package
in.
on the way. I'll call my assistant.
July 28th.
My phone rings.
So July 28th and then July 29th.
July 28, July 29, West Coast later.
How can people find you guys?
Just Google me and Adam.
Yeah.
It's the
But you
easiest
have to
way.
spell it. It's not me and Adam.
But you can say me and Adam too. So
Really? There it is.
okay. You can say me and Adam.
MEND.
We own the A as
A-D-A-M.
well. Like the A.
You do?
Yeah.
Was smart. See, that's classic. Who thought of that?
Not me.
Yeah.
Vince.
It's a questionable decision. I mean, it's fine now. It doesn't matter. We own the A anyways.
Google me and Adam, ME space Indy space 80 AM or AND, whatever you want to do.
They can find you, me and Adam, on all social media.
All social media is at me and Adam.
Twitter, Threads,
and then
TikTok.
Definitely on Threads.
Spotify.
Yes. YouTube. Yes.
What aren't we on?
MySpace.
MySpace.
Oh, yeah, we're not on MySpace.
I think Zuck should buy MySpace and bring it back,
thought
or
he
no,
did.
or Elon should buy MySpace and bring it back to take on.
They
Facebook.
tried to bring it back. And
They're gonna
couldn't figure out how it worked.
Justin Timberlake tried, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
$1 million question. Who do you think would win in the cage fight between Zuckerberg and Elon Musk?
I know who would lose. The American people.
I don't think so. I hope they do fight, and I think that Zuck wins because he's just too.
He's an actual fighter.
He's too worried about it.
Elon will never get in the ring. I promise you that.
I think he has too much to lose. Zuck has nothing to lose. He's been beaten down by congressmen on TV and shit.
Zuck is a strong man.
He is. He actually did, him and there's another like podcaster. They like work out together, and they do like he goes.
I meant like
Zuck does
I meant
competitions.
fuerte el corazón. Like he's like strong in the heart. Like he's been beaten down. Like he's been sued his whole life with the Facebook thing. You know, I'm not saying I like the guy. I think he can handle. Like
Elon
I think he
Musk.
can handle the outside pressures, and I think Elon he wavers, you know, and he falls to whims, and he's insecure.
They're not going to fight. It's just a penis measuring thing now. So we're curious who the judge will be, but
in that competition, I think Musk might have him.
he must if he brought it up.
But maybe Zuck has like a fucking horse down there, you know.
We're gonna end now.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.
We took that. We took a hard turn. So, well, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate this. No, it was a nice. This was a nice segue, a nice easy cushion landing, soft landing back into season 2.
Okay, when our album does incredibly well and we're party rock stars, we'll come on here absolutely ready to rip again.
Is that what it is? It's because you guys are so focused.
You gotta go one on, one off, one on, one off. Yeah.
Got it.
We're just working. We're working. I was working on the intro to the whole show right before we came here. So it's like
It's a
hard
shift
work
of mentality.
Yeah, it's just like really hard work right now.
Yeah.
I think last time we saw you, we were just like, I think we just had been drunk for like 10 years straight. So
It was COVID. There was no rules.
It's COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm drinking Lone Star right now. I don't even drink Lone Star. I'm a social drinker.
I do. Come to Anton's. There'll be some Lone Stars for you.
We should do a giveaway.
Thank you, gentlemen. Yeah.
A giveaway. Take a giveaway.
We can do a take a giveaway.
Yeah, we can do one.
We'll do one of those. Those have been performing well. I've been doing random giveaways and they're all crushing.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, audio crew.
See you. Thank you guys.
And video crew.